You know me, I know you, we know each other. No, we don't. That was a terrible way to start off the video. Um, you love me. No, you don't, I hope. You know me in the sense that you know about my likes. Get out of there. My many enjoyments of life. No, there's nothing there, I'm just kidding. The many things that I enjoy. Anyway, I'm wearing pants, I swear. And I need more. And I'm not talking about the materialistic more, as in more quantity of things that I can touch. But I'm talking about like more content, more video, please, more voice lines. Official content is what I'm looking for. And Genshin Impact has not been delivering at all, like on anything, honestly. They haven't been delivering on the doctor front because, canonically he's not supposed to be there yet. He's fucked off into his laboratory after we saw him in Sumeru. And he said, bye. And he waved. And then he was like, I stayed in Sumeru. You know what I mean? Price? What price would you have me pay? What was I saying? Oh yeah, and after that he fucked off and we never saw him again, and guess how long ago that was? 2 years. It has been 2 years and a few months since we last saw this guy officially anywhere. And clearly, this is becoming like a long distance thing. Ooh, and I can't do that. I can't do that. It's hard. That was a dumb joke. It's difficult. Oh my god, it's so difficult. I don't know how much longer I can do this. We had such a fun and great time 2 years ago in September when he showed up and I was immediately head over heels. Can we talk about no one ever thought about how that is such a weird phrase, head over heels? Yeah, man, your head's always supposed to be above your heels. Do you fucking... Shouldn't it be more like heels over head? Did anyone ever write this down wrong and then everybody just started doing it wrong? I'm gonna start saying it correctly. I went totally heels over head for someone's OC, essentially. I totally became a victim of capitalism and marketing and their gooner ways. Yay! And now we're very happy together. We're getting married in February on the 28th. Everybody write it in your calendar and show up. But I want more. I need to see him again, and essentially what the catalyst of this was me going back through all my Dotori videos playlists on TikTok, which is so full of artists that have quit social media or just gone dormant or something, and they're dead, which is honestly tragic. To me, one of the biggest tragedies in my life is finding an artist whose work I really love, and then they just disappear out of my life. Which, of course, it's everyone has their own personal lives, and maybe they just disliked being on social media after a while, which is totally understandable, and it's much more healthy to be off it. But at the same time, I really like art, and I really like looking at people's art, and it's so tragic to me. There's at least 3 artists that I can think of from the top of my head, 3 artworks that are huge in my brain, who by artists that don't post online anymore, anywhere. And it's so tragic. And it's even worse when you don't know anything. If there's no statement about it, I don't know, they could have died. I'm in mourning, dude. Where are you? I don't know you and you don't know me, but your art was important to me. That's become a whole different tangent right now. I wanted to make a silly, funny video about how I miss my fictional husband and how it's really annoying that every single time, like, that the heyday of TikTok edits of my guy is over because I can't keep seeing the same 3 clips over and over again and like the same artworks that were popular 2 years ago. And at least I'm like skilled enough now to do the stuff myself and do personalized artwork, right? But that's nothing like looking at other people's artwork and like seeing other people's interpretations of the character and other people's like ideas, portrayals, in different situations and stuff. And if he was a character that wasn't popular in the first place, I wouldn't be lamenting so hard about this. But it's really tragic it's like a huge loss to me. Of course, this goes for like any art that I really like, but obviously I'm going to engage most with fan art, Jesus, with fan art, because then me and the artwork already have like a preconceived bond in a way, because I have an interest in the source material, and if it's also good art on top of that, obviously I'm way more inclined to engage with it, and it stays up here much longer, as opposed to like people's original work or like fandoms that I'm not part of. Because obviously I can appreciate good art no matter what it's portraying, but when you like something so deeply, becomes really hard to then let go of it. Especially when you find iterations in artworks by other people of this one character that you love so much that it has really taken over your life in many ways. I mean, I there's just so much of his shit all around my house, room. My room is my house. It's just everywhere I go, and then it's like, if I find that iteration that I really love, especially, it feels like, how do I explain this? Like, if you love a person and you have like, I don't know, you catch a really good candid picture of them, you really treasure that for a long, long time, and then you go back to it and you look at it and you're like, this person that I love is so beautiful. And I have that, but with good and to me agreeable iterations of my favorite one guy. And that's so sad. I don't know when I'll see him again. People always say that, like, 2025. That in 2025, he's most likely going to show up again because of reasons. I think people argue with, like, then the next Snezhnaya should be coming out then, and then it's, like, time for him to do another appearance, because that's where the Harbingers all are, and we're probably going to see a lot of them again. In Natlan, we see Capitano. He's there. He's part of the story, and he's cool. He's pretty sick. I like his design, but at his core, nah. He's very, very sick. I love that he also wears a mask and that he's like probably a creature. Like, oh, right, they confirmed like he's like rotting and shit, right? Which is awesome. I love that. Like a lot. But they're not going to do anything with that concept, so we've been getting a lot of good. I love the fan art where it's actually just like a guy and his like face is rotting off, and I'm like, damn, that is cool as hell. But it feels very silly to compare what I have with a fictional character to like actual people's real relationships. No, I can't put real in quotation marks. To people's actual romantic relationships with another human person that is alive and stuff, right? This isn't really like having a boyfriend. It's all up there. Like, I make that up entirely. And no one really contributes aside from friends who like poke up in there and they're like, and I'm like, ugh. No, I'm not like, ugh. I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna kill myself, thanks. I don't know how to describe that. It's like cute aggression. Yeah, it's cute aggression. I get a lot of cute aggression about this dude. Except it's not really cute aggression, it's like just general love aggression, because I don't only think that he's cute, like a little baby K. Like this one looks like a fetus, but that's because that's how they designed him. He's grown on me, by the way. This weird little homunculus bug-looking fucking like naked animal that lives in my house. Wave. He's grown on me like a parasite. So has the blue man in the corner of my room. Anyway, what the fuck was I talking about? Yeah, right. You can't compare that, and I can only liken my own feelings to that of someone in a relationship that I presume are similar, because I feel it's a strong love, you know? I know what love is, I think. I don't think I've ever felt it towards a human person, but I have, but in that case, it's like, not celebrities, but like famous people. It's like YouTubers, okay? It's YouTubers. Good God, just say it. Just like people that I don't know, you know? Like it's not, I've never had a crush on someone at school in that way. And that's just kind of how it's always been. And people will rush and they will be like, you're asexual and aromantic. Just accept it. And it's like, I don't want to say that unless I can actually confidently say this. Because I know that I feel this very intense love and appreciation and just like all the like warm and nice feelings you can feel towards anything, towards this, which is really unfortunate for me. Really unfortunate. And I don't like thinking about that much because that makes me sad. Because imagine you have a boyfriend and he doesn't like you. Straight women will relate. I'm sorry, that was real rude. But yeah, it's like, it's so hard to explain to normal people. No, normal doesn't really exist. Everybody has their weird quirks about them, and I don't think that that's bad. It's just like, this thing just makes living a little bit more bearable. I mean, if I really think about it, then I'm like, oh, maybe I'm just like this because no one has ever really shown romantic interest in me after the age of like 11, and that was a long distance relationship over Wattpad, and I was lesbian back then, so that's like not even me anymore. There are people who like me, you know, but on the sidelines. For some reason, I have this weird curse where people like me as a third wheel. I don't know. It's not even like an adopting of people. Like, it's not like, there's romantic / sexual undertones, but I don't even know how to handle that because it's never solely me. This has become so depressing. I didn't mean for this to be such a depressing, like, talk. I wanted it actually to be funny. But this became very personal all of a sudden. But I think this is necessary for me to talk about the subject that I've decided I want to have a tangent about. Yeah. I don't know if that's what like causes it. Is that like I'm subconsciously just looking for something else to entertain myself with, because let's be real, even though we as humans are not only affected by our natural instincts, the natural instincts of any adult animal is most likely reproduce. And humans have introduced, like, no, not humans. I mean, I know a lot of other animals, they form like bonds for life, and I dare call that love. They must enjoy each other's company because, you know, animals also enjoy things, and if they enjoy each other's company, maybe that is to be called love. But obviously, humans probably like experience it very differently, or at least we like to think we do, because we're so much better than every other animal. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, I hate people, like, genuinely. It's so dumb. But yeah, and so what we do is we just introduce a stronger bond alongside the want for like reproduction, or I guess the fun part of it. Which is why so many people are so addicted to like pornography and stuff, because it stimulates like a lot of your brain and shit. Or I suppose, I guess, the like thing that is at the forefront of your subconscious, so you don't notice that this is what you mostly are striving for, because you can tell yourself all you want, oh, in my life I really want to like have this career and that's what's really making me happy, but in the end, a lot of what people go back to is just like sex. This is such a weird, like, talk. I was talking about TikTok in the beginning of this video, and this time I'm like, I believe that humans are too sex-focused. But anyway, what the fuck was I even saying? This is why people write, like, theses about this kind of thing, to remember what they're even trying to say. Hold on. Yeah, right. So I was thinking that because no other human person has ever shown this special interest in me, but my brain subconsciously really wants/needs this to happen, I've just decided to make it up myself. And maybe I'm just deluding myself into believing that I'm totally fine with this. But whenever I think about loving like a person, like a human person, it just is so difficult. And I'm like, oh, that's so hard though. But it would definitely be different if there was a person there, you know? I don't know if that'll ever happen. I like people. There's people that I like. But this excitement of just, it's so intense and it's so, like, guttural. I love my friends a lot. And I don't want to say that I like a fictional person more than I like my friends, because that would be kind of crazy. But I will say that the feelings about him are often a lot more intense than they are when I, like, compare them to my friends. And they have been, and they continue to be, this very harsh intensity for 2 years since this all started. Like, it's very easy to pinpoint when this started, because it started as soon as his first appearance happened in the actual game. Because in the webtoon, I didn't like him. I was like, this guy's a dick. And then he comes back with, like, a makeover, and I'm like, oh my god, you're so hot. He's not real, so I can do these things, you know, and not feel bad about it. And he can kill people, and I can not feel bad about it. Which obviously I've myself gone into the brain and thought about why I reasoned that way. Tell me if you want to hear about that. Tell me if you want to know why I believe that that people like fictional murderers and stuff, even though they do murder, and then dislike other characters for... Oh my god. Do you see that? That is a fat bruise on my leg. Okay. Weird. Don't know where that came from. But anyway, yeah. I don't like thinking about it too much, but I do believe that it is necessary. You know, it's not like I'm not losing grip on reality. I'm not, like, rocking back and forth in the corner of my room, mumbling to myself about the Blue Doctor. It's not like that. But yeah, sometimes I just think that I'm deluding myself into thinking that I actually find happiness and enjoyment and fulfillment in this, because I utterly lack the capability to romantically entice another person to court someone. And I think exactly what I just said is exactly why I get no play. I just described, like, falling in love with someone as courting. And what was the other thing I said? I literally already forgot. Anyway, but no, I don't actually think that was sarcasm. People can be loved despite their weird quirks. But at the same time, I don't want to love another person. I'm pretty sure I'm quite happy with someone that does not exist. Because it's so easy. It's like, he has everything. I can just add and remove traits that I don't like at will. Can make him do whatever I want. I don't have to be scared of him because he's not real. And those are just the perks of having a fictional husband. Get yours today. Or any day. You can even make one up. Yeah, I don't know. It's really strange. But, you know, I'm not the only person. But that doesn't mean that it's, like, okay or normal or, like, healthy. I have thought about that before. Is that healthy for me to do? Am I keeping myself from opportunity because I'm, like, already fulfilled in that sense, in that field? But am I really keeping myself from opportunity? Because it's not like people are, like, breaking down my door and, like, please date me. And I'm like, no, I have to draw my blue pixel. it's not like that. It's just I'm drawing my blue pixel and there's no other person involved ever. So yeah, that was my kind of depressing rant about that. We're quite happy at this very moment. It kind of also feels like holding someone hostage. It's like, yes, we're so happy, and I'm speaking for both of us. I think have I drawn something about that before? Either I've drawn something about that or thought about the concept of drawing something about how I'm essentially dating myself in a way. Because everything I say, it is, everything I think, and make my, like, when I'm drawing or whatever. No, let me start elsewhere. Because everything that in my mind, I'm doing with him or that he says, because obviously do I really want to get into this in depth? I'm dating myself because everything that I make up about him just comes back from my brain, and every single time I'm like, oh, he would think that this looks nice. I'm just thinking of myself again. I'm thinking from myself to myself, which hence why I'm dating myself in a way. It's not multiple personality disorder though, because I'm very aware that it's like both of these characters are me, both participants. But like, isn't that just more healthy because it's self-love? Take that, hater. I almost got caught shoplifting today. I avoided it expertly. Anyway. Yeah, that's that. There's a lot to be said about this, and there's a lot to think about. Yumeing, as it's actually called. Like, self-shipping is like the English word, but in fandom spaces, people mostly use the word yume, which is like dream in Japanese. There's like yume joshi, which is when you're a girl, and yume danshi is when you're a boy, so that's me. Yeah, that's like your title, I guess. Which you don't have that in English, it's just self-shipper. I think both are used equally as much, yume and self-ship. But yeah, I also have never felt this intensity with any of my other fictional crushes, so I don't know. And there are people who keep like fictional crushes for like decades, but I do believe that maybe you have to be a little bit insane for that, and I don't know if I've reached that level yet. There's a lot of things I can say about this anyway, but there's also a lot of things that I don't want to publicly say about this, and there's also a lot of things I could technically put in that little book of mine, which is like a journal that I keep, but I've been neglecting it. It's an on and off thing. Anyway, that was that. I've almost been talking for half an hour in a way. No one's watching this, and I'm the only person that's probably ever going to hear these words, ever. So, if you even exist, who I'm talking to right now, if you exist, that's cool, I guess. I hope you have a nice existence. Peace, man. Goodbye.